Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Today I want to talk about Jin and his response to his military service. I think there's a bit of confusion with this and I have some thoughts. There's also claims of him evading military service, and I also wanted to get into something the government did with Jin. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, grab your dumpling, tea spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into is what the government is doing with Jin. This is something super cute and fun, and I think you guys will love to hear it. Let me give some context. China is a place where a lot of the world's stuff and a lot of different countries have a small part of land in China. This is the embassy. It's like another country's headquarters in China, and basically in that small amount of land, the laws of China don't apply, only the laws of that country that are part of the embassy. Not entirely relevant, but just something interesting to know, that the land of China is not completely owned by China. So South Korea has their part in China as well. Jin released his adorable song Super Tuna back in early December for his birthday, and the song kind of shattered records on its own. For a song without a chorus and really not much meaning at all, it really even broke Psy's record and became a song with 200 million views on TikTok and over 40 million on YouTube. And all of the Korean mascots and the Ministry of the Ocean and Fishery were getting involved as well. As obviously the song is about tuna, so it's fitting. And then the embassy went to host a real event called the Super Tuna Challenge with actual prizes and stuff. And of course the joke is the prize Jin, which would be awesome. I think the challenge has ended, but basically if you wanted to enter at that time, you just had to record yourself doing the Super Tuna dance, which was very fun and easy to do, and then post it on Weibo and tag the embassy. This is hilarious how a song that was intended to really do nothing. In fact, it was a song that even Jin himself said he wasn't sure if he wanted to release because his team had told him it was quite strange. But Jin had a passion for fishing and tuna, so why not release something cute? It would compete and rival with Baby Shark or that type of music. Although Super Tuna is a bit more sophisticated than that. But it was awesome to note that within the next day or so of Jin releasing Super Tuna, it already became somewhat of a viral hit on TikTok. It's always strange when people say K-pop stuff goes viral, because if you're not someone in the K-pop genre or into K-pop at all, usually the K-pop content, you won't see it. So it's only viral within the K-pop fandom and not in the mainstream. But Super Tuna definitely went a little bit outside of just K-pop, and as you can obviously tell, it made its way to the embassy. But Jin actually had a pretty funny reaction to this at the time. He was asking armies on Weverse to not do the challenge, as if the song got really big, Hybe or Big Hit is going to ask him to do another one, a Super Tuna Part 2. But what was funny was that even though this was his wish for army to stop, it got picked up by the government, and government officials were doing it a few weeks later. They clearly didn't get the memo. Or of course, at this point, anything that the boys do is going to not only cause a social change that is fun or whatever, but also cause a political change. I wonder if they're aware of the power that they have. They must try not to think about it, because if you just thought about it all day, I'm sure your head would explode. I would love to see Jin do more stuff. He does have solo music, and I feel like he should really be given the opportunity to put out more, as I really think it could be amazing or even more amazing. I would also like to see him act. There's just a lot that I would love to see, and I think because he has such a bright future, that it's brought up over and over again, what is going to happen to him? Is he going to go into acting, which is what he originally studied after the military, or is he not concerned with acting anymore? Or does he have any wishes to go solo? This solo stuff came from this idea that people don't believe Jin has enough lines in BTS's song, and people protest that he needs to go solo. However, with all of these being a part of the conversation, one of the main ones that not only sticks out but is used to insult Jin is the military. Jin was supposed to enlist in the military years ago, but the government allowed for some extensions, and he has been given those benefits. Not for no reason, of course, but because BTS is a big chunk of South Korea's economy and thus get certain privileges. But it's been used as an insult when comparing other groups to BTS. People say, well, my fave group went to the military and yours didn't, so they suck. As if going to the military is a sign of success. It's a sign of something good for a lot of people and something that signifies being a man in Korea, but it's not something that actually signifies that. You're still a man if you can't go or haven't been to the military. And if you're so bent on the military being such an awesome thing, 99% of the people making these claims that BTS is bad because they haven't enlisted are coming from people who haven't enlisted themselves. Going to the military or lack of going doesn't affect whether the music is good or not. It has no correlation. I was seeing comparisons online of BTS and Big Bang, saying that Big Bang is better because they went. It's comparing apples and oranges. First of all, the group's music is totally different. The style and personalities of each members are different. But most importantly, the military has nothing to do with any of those things. This issue, should I say, was even more brought up and used to attack Jin when recently Jin broke his finger. It was in the middle of the night and Weverse updated a notice from Big Hit saying that Jin ripped his tendon in his finger and went to the hospital for surgery. These notices are like Army's worst nightmares lately because every time it pops up, I'm scared to check it out because I know something happened. At this point, I almost don't even want to know. Like, get the surgery, tell us later. But around the same time, BTS decided to go live on VLive, and it was a surprise live stream. BTS usually has a reason to go live, whether it's a birthday, after an award show, or after a big event like singing at the UN. But this was completely a surprise, and I felt like maybe it was because of Jin's injury they wanted to come on and not only talk about Jin, but talk about their experiences getting COVID and that they're all okay. So just having one video that clarifies everyone's health. Jin is obviously okay, it's a finger, even if they had to cut off the finger, which they didn't, he would still be able to dance and sing like nothing happened. We probably wouldn't even notice it was gone. However, his finger is likely healing fine, so he will have it. Now, I didn't see anything wrong with this. Oh boy, did the internet see something wrong with this. Apparently, this is not okay. Not the injury, but the fact that Jin needs time to heal from it. People were upset that Jin was missing from the live stream, and even others saying that Jin just broke a finger, he can still attend the live stream. And even that he is not manly for skipping it. I don't care if you simply got a paper cut. If you're not feeling well to do a live stream, then don't do it. That's your decision. This stream wasn't something that was scheduled to do and something he had to attend. People were saying him missing out on the live stream or breaking his finger is also going to be an excuse he is going to use to evade military service. What does that mean? That wouldn't even work. You can't just say, I broke a finger, I can't go. But also, so what? If Jin doesn't want to attend the military and tries to get out of it, what exactly is the shame? Also, I'm pretty sure the people saying this are not even Korean. Do you understand why he has to go? The whole point is that every man can serve their country. But has BTS not done that already? They are literally the ambassadors of the country. If you don't understand the point of the military, then don't use it against someone. This is why people think K-pop is full of 10-year-olds, because it sounds like drunk people talking. There's no reasoning. The knowledge that these K-pop fans have is so shallow, it's so surface level, and there's no understanding of laws and how the world works. We live in the 21st century. People should have freedom to choose what they want to do. Jin has mentioned many times before that when he is called upon, he will go to the military and serve. Typically, I do believe you have to send in an application to apply and then you can enlist, but in BTS's case, it likely wouldn't be something that simple. BTS has so many employees, like hundreds. They are also the ambassadors of Korea, so they can't simply just up and leave. It would be entirely up to the decision of Korea whether they want to enlist him or not. The literal president knows how to get in contact with Jin, and they can literally do that if they need him to enlist right away. From what I see, Jin does not want to enlist, and that is okay. I think it's something that he should be allowed to have an opinion on. Korea is not at war right now, and hopefully it stays that way. So there's no real need for soldiers, and even if they did have a war right now, they're likely not going to recruit K-pop stars to fight. K-pop stars would be last resort if everyone else already died. It would likely be the people who have chosen to have a career in the military first. But I understand that this is not the point of enlisting. It's to serve the country, blah, blah, blah. But as I said, I think Jin has already done that. And it would be even actually less fair to have him enlist, as he would be serving his country twice. And we don't know how crazy the BTS routine and training is. What if it's actually as hard as military training? These are things that no one thinks about. Why is no one thinking? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.